Hi everybody and welcome along to the Big Quiz Night In. This is the last live show of the summer as advertised. I'm taking a break over August, over the next few weeks, so we're going to have one more Big Quiz Night In live show. This is episode 174 for those keeping count, and we've got a great show lined up for you this evening. Let's see who we've got in the chat first of all. Hi to Jody, they're nice and early. Welcome along, and glad you could join us. We've got Andy here saying good evening, everyone, watching over on YouTube again tonight. Evening all from Sue and the Donuts. Geraldine's there in the chat saying good evening as well. And good evening to Catherine and Tony, the not so golden oldies as well, popping up in the chat. I know some others are on the way. Also, I know that I won't be getting any audience from TikTok anymore on these live shows because the format I'm using to restream, it's called, has changed. TikTok has changed the rules to say if you don't stream 50% gaming content, we will no longer let you go live. So I've got notifications saying that I'm banned from going live on TikTok, which is absolutely brilliant, sarcastically. So it was just YouTube and Facebook, but it's fine. It's fine. We make do. And we carry on, and I'm glad you could all be here for another Big Quiz Night In. We are going to go now over to our kids' question, as always, to kick off the show. Let's see what we've got in store for you this time to get you some bonus points to kick off this evening's quiz. Apocalypse. And we've got Ruben here this evening again to bring you a question. So we're going to bring it up on screen. Guess in the comments as always. If you get it right, you can give yourself 2 bonus points towards your score for any of the upcoming 3 quiz rounds, which you'll find out about in a moment. So I'll bring up the question. Here we go.
What is the hottest temperature ever recorded in the UK? Is it 39 degrees C.
Just say C. That's fine.
40 degrees C, 41 degrees C, or 42 degrees C?
Yes. So C stands for centigrade. Yeah.
I forgot the moment you told me.
That's all right. It's fine. That's what that means anyway when you see those symbols. So, what is the hottest temperature? It feels about 36 in here.
Yep.
And it will be very hot in a couple of weeks' time as well. We've got a big heat wave coming across the UK in a couple of weeks' time. So we thought we'd do a question about the hottest temperatures for this one. Let's see what people say. Have a guess in the chat, please. We've got some coming in already. Let's have everybody have a guess and let me know what you think. Both the YouTube and Facebook live chats are combined on screen now, so if we do get any comments from both, you will see them all as they come in. Because apart from the TikTok problem, this is working lovely, this new solution we've got. Right, so we've got Catherine saying D, we have Jody saying B, Geraldine saying B, Andy saying B as well. There is a decimal place after it for the official temperature, but I've rounded it down to the nearest one for the purpose of this question. So let's reveal the answer now. Are you ready to tell them, Rue?
The answer is 40 degrees C, which is crazy because that's like the kind of temperatures Egypt gets.
It is crazy, yep. It feels like it's been hotter before, but that's the official record, 40.3 degrees to be precise. It's going to come close to that in a couple of weeks' time. Next week, not so much, but the week after that, it's going to get pretty close to that, maybe even hotter in some places. So there you go. There's your weather report as well for today. Thanks, Ruth. Say goodbye to everyone. You won't see them until September now.
Bye-bye. See you in the time that I will be in secondary.
Oh, my goodness, yes. You probably would have started secondary school by the time you next see everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. You are growing up too fast.
You guys have seen me grow up. And Abby's not even on the show. She's too old.
And you're too old.
Too old to be on our
You've got more exciting things to do, I think, watching TV with Mum. All right. Thanks for your help as always, mate.
See you next time. For the final time, for a while.
Go on. The wave. Apocalypse. Right, so we've got a bit of a mixture of rounds this evening again, and yes, thank you for that. We'll pass on your well wishes once I get off the show tonight. Thank you very much for that. It's crazy. So we're going to do a cartoons round, all about classic cartoons and a couple, maybe a little bit more recent, but mostly classic cartoons for round number one. We've also got Can I Have a P, Please, Bob? Around all about questions where the trivia all begins with the letter P, because that's, of course, that amusing line we make fun of sometimes on the Patreon quiz nights. I thought it'd be fun to do a quiz round all about that. And then what's the other one we've got tonight? We're going to do a potluck round as we do normally as well. And we've got game shows rounds where I'll do one of your usual Our Survey Says, and then we are going to do catchphrase again tonight. It was just a bit easier for me to do that because I know I was supposed to do Tenable, but that does take a bit more prep, and it just wasn't possible today. And I found some really fun catchphrases, so I'm just going to go with that again this evening. So let's see how you get on. And yes, round number one is our cartoons round, everybody. So here we go. Question number one. You also, of course, have the countdown conundrum. You can work that out for 2 bonus points. Don't guess that in the chat if you're watching live, though. Question one. What is the name of Donald Duck's wealthy uncle? What is the name of Donald Duck's wealthy uncle? Mainly features in a cartoon with one of, if not the greatest theme songs for a cartoon ever. Absolutely brilliant. I won't give any more clues away at this stage, though. Question number two now. Question two. Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck co-starred with which real-life basketball great in the original Space Jam? Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck co-starred with which real-life basketball great in the original Space Jam? It's another 1-point question. Question number three now. Question number three. What was Eliza Thornberry's special gift? What was Eliza Thornberry's special gift? What could she do? It's worth a guess, that one. If you're not sure who she is, definitely worth a guess. Especially in the context of kids' cartoons. Okay, question number four. What was Marge Simpson's maiden name? What was Marge Simpson's maiden name? Question number five is for 2 points. Name the snakes that were the stars of Disney's Robin Hood and Jungle Book, or who starred in, I should say, they weren't literally these stars. Name the snakes that starred in Disney's Robin Hood and Jungle Book. 1 point for each. 2 different snakes to work out there. Disney's Robin Hood, one of my all-time favourites in terms of animated movies. Absolutely love that one. That's one that we do not want a live action remake. And no. Live action remake of that would not be good. I know we've got live action Robin Hood movies, but you know what I mean, with anthropomorphic animals in live action. I wouldn't like that, I don't think. Question 6. In the original Danger Mouse, who provided the voices of Danger Mouse and Penfold? For 2 points again. Who provided the voices in the original Danger Mouse cartoon for Danger Mouse and Penfold? 1 point for each. Right, question number 7 now. Question 7. In Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which character framed Roger Rabbit? Question 7. In Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which character framed Roger Rabbit? Right, question number 8 now. Question 8. What was the name of Popeye's son? What was the name of Popeye's son for question 8? Okay, then your next question. Question number 9. In the wacky races, who drove the bulletproof bomb? In the wacky races, who drove the bulletproof bomb? Okay, your next question. And question number 10. Who sold propane gas and propane accessories in Arlen, Texas? Who sold propane gas and propane accessories in Arlen, Texas? Question 11 up next for you then. Question 11. Which actor gave voice to the circus rooster Rocky in Chicken Run? Which actor gave voice to the circus rooster Rocky in Chicken Run? Technically animated, not a cartoon, but you get the gist of it. It's fine. Who voiced Rocky, the circus rooster in Chicken Run? Okay, question 12. This is for 2 points. Which actors voiced James P. Sullivan and Mike Wazowski in Monsters, Inc.? Which actors voiced James P. Sullivan and Mike Wazowski in Monsters, Inc.? Question number 13. Question 13. By what name is Leopold Stotch better known in South Park? By what name is Leopold Stotch better known in South Park? Question 14. Back on The Simpsons for question 14. Which Simpsons character was named after Richard Nixon? Which Simpsons character was named after Richard Nixon? And question 15 is for 5 points. So I will give you a little bit of thinking time on this one and I'll waffle on for a bit whilst you let you have a think about this one and also any other repeats you want me to do, let me know in the chat. Question 15. Which Hollywood A-listers played Master Shifu, Monkey, Tigress, Viper, and Mantis in Disney's Kung Fu Panda? Which Hollywood A-listers played the masters Shifu, Monkey, Tigress, Viper, and Mantis in Disney's Kung Fu Panda? 1 point for each. They're all big Hollywood A-list actors. So definitely worth a guess, even if you haven't got a clue, you've never seen any of them before. Honestly, your odds are good that you might get at least one right if you have a guess at these 5. Let me just check. Yeah, there's 2 female actors and 3 male, just to narrow it down for you a bit more. So good luck with that one then. You've also got a little bit more time, of course, to think about now the countdown conundrum on screen now. If you can work that out, you get 2 bonus points. And everybody that said 40 degrees will get themselves those extra points as well. You can spend them on this round or save them for one of the next 2 rounds. Spend those however you like. There will be, of course, 2 conundrums after this. There'll be one on round 2 and one on round 3. And yes, let me know if you want any questions repeated. 5 points though for that last one. So that will boost your scores nicely if you get some extra points there. We had, of course, our Patreon meetup on Sunday night for my pub quiz. You may have seen the picture I shared if you weren't there. Or even if you were, you may have seen the picture I've shared as well from it. It was lovely and great fun. And I also hosted a quiz on the Saturday night, followed by a disco for another Patreon supporter of mine, which is Roz. And that was also great fun, reminiscing as well about all the years they've been quizzing with me in the pubs and also online. And I got a little gift, which I shared as well. Little badge. Look, I say little badge, quite a big badge actually. I was really happy with that. It's a lovely little thing, lovely little gift. I'll stick that on my quiz bag. Very appreciative of all the support I get here, and I love doing what I do for you all. So yeah, happy days. Okay, I'm going to go through the answers. I'm not seeing any more repeats. I hope you've had enough thinking time then with that last question. Okay, here we go with the answers then. Let me know how many you get at the end of this run through, and I'll reveal the countdown conundrum answer as well. All right, question number 1. What is the name of Donald Duck's wealthy uncle? It is Scrooge McDuck. Question is DuckTales is the main show that he was on, with a great theme tune. Question 2. Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck co-starred with which real-life basketball great in the original Space Jam movie? It was Michael Jordan. Question 3. What was Eliza Thornberry's special gift? She could talk to animals. Question 4. What was Marge Simpson's middle name? Or maiden name, sorry. It is Bouvier. Question 5. Name the snakes that starred in Disney's Robin Hood and Jungle Book. It is Sir Hiss and Car. Question 6. Who voiced Danger Mouse and Penfold in the original TV series? That was David Jason and Terry Scott. Question 7. Who framed Roger Rabbit? It was a character played by Christopher Lloyd. You'll know him from Back to the Future, perhaps. It's Judge Doom. Very creepy character. Question number 8 now. What was the name of Popeye's son? He was called Pee-wee. Question 9. In the Wacky Races, who drove the bulletproof bomb? That was the Anthill Mob. Question 10. Who sold propane gas and propane accessories in Arlen, Texas? That was Hank Hill. Question 11. Which actor gave voice to the circus rooster Rocky in Chicken Run? It is Mel Gibson. Question 12. Which actors voiced James P. Sullivan and Mike Wazowski in Monsters, Inc.? That is John Goodman and Billy Crystal. Question 13. By what name is Leopold Stotch better known in South Park? It is Butters. Butters Stotch. Leopold Butters. Question 14. Which Simpsons character was named after Richard Nixon? It is Milhouse Van Houten. Milhouse, because Milhouse is Richard Nixon's, or was Richard Nixon's middle name. And question 15. The 5 Hollywood A-listers that voiced the characters in Kung Fu Panda were Dustin Hoffman, Jackie Chan, Angelina Jolie, Lucy Liu, and Seth Rogen. So 1 point for each of those then. Tally up your scores. And also, don't forget to add on 2 points for the countdown conundrum if you put accepting. So you get an extra 2 points there, and you can also take the 2 points if you said B for your answer for the hottest temperature kids question at the start of the show. Let's see how well you did then, everybody. Comment with your scores for those watching live now. And then we can move on to our next round, which will be the Can I Have a Pee Please, Bob? Blockbusters round. Let me think. Is there anything else I can talk to you about? The other thing I could tell you, actually, I suppose, while we wait for the scores to come in, is from the 30th of July onwards. If you fancied any Big Quiz Night in merch, there is a 20% discount off of everything in store for about 5 days, I think. So yeah, if you want anything Big Quiz Night in related, I've added on a load more products as well, and they've also released a load more products which are more organic and ethically sourced products as well. I was thinking of actually changing provider because I found one that was really good at that, and yeah, seems to have a very good reputation and was comparable in terms of costs. But actually, I realise now that the one I'm with has recently introduced similar processes, so that's pretty good, I think. So I'm sticking around for a bit longer with them. Right, what have we got here then? Here comes some comments. Excellent. So Jody says 7 plus 2 plus 2. Good effort. Not our round. Donut scored 10, and that's with the conundrum. Yeesh. Absolutely not our strongest subject, says Tony. Andy says 4 plus 2 for the conundrum makes 6 for me. Brilliant. Geraldine, 5 plus 2, no conundrum. Catherine says, woohoo, we got 3 that round, but we did eventually get the conundrum, so 5 in total. Yes, excellent work. That's all right. Everybody struggled with that round, but hopefully you might remember some of this, because these kind of questions would come up in lots of different rounds that I could host. So you hopefully will retain some of that for future quizzes. Every day is a school day. Sometimes it just works out that way, doesn't it? Right, let's go on to the next round then, everybody, and see how you do with the next one, because it is more of a general knowledge round, just with the theme of the letter P with it. Okay then, so Can I Have a P is the name of this round, and you'll get 15 more questions. There is another countdown conundrum on screen now, so you might get 2 more points if you can work that one out. And with that said, let's crack on, shall we? All right, question number 1. Which P is an Italian city with a famous, if flawed, tower? I'm sure everybody's got 1 point now. Which P is an Italian city with a famous, if flawed, tower? Question number 2 now. Question 2. Which 3 cartoon Ps were a sailor man, a yellow Pokemon, and the driver of the compact pussycat? Back on cartoons, I'm afraid. But one of them was mentioned in the last round, so really no excuses for that one at least. Which 3 cartoon Ps were a sailor man, a yellow Pokemon, and the driver of the compact pussycat? 3 points for that one. Question number 3 now. The town of Melton Mowbray is famous for which peas? The town of Melton Mowbray is famous for which peas? Question number 4. Which P is another name for your kneecap? Which P is another name for your kneecap? All right, question number 5 now. Question 5. Which P is used to regulate the contractions of the cardiac muscle? Which P is used to regulate the contractions of the cardiac muscle? Question number 6 now for 3 more points. Question 6. In which 3 Ps are Nobel Prizes awarded? Which 3 Ps are Nobel Prizes awarded? 1 point for each again. Okay, next question then. Question number 7. Which P generated more than 20 million quarters in the USA between 1980 and 1990? Which P generated more than 20 million quarters in the USA between 1980 and 1990? Question number 8 now. Question 8. Which P is the Bishop of Rome? Which P is the Bishop of Rome? Question number 9. By which P was Rebecca Rolfe better known in history? By which P was Rebecca Rolfe better known in history? It's also another Disney movie. And I'm sure other versions of this person's story exist. But just thought I'd give you a bit of a clue there. Right. Okay, the next question then. Question 10. Which P is a term given to somebody who has more than 5 digits on their hand? Which P is a term given to somebody who has more than 5 digits on their hand? Question number 11 now. This one's for 3 more points. Question 11. Beatrix Potter, Michael Bond, and Astrid Lindgren wrote children's stories about which 3 Ps? Beatrix Potter, Michael Bond, and Astrid Lindgren wrote children's stories about which 3 Ps? Question number 12 now. Question 12. Which P is a spell that conjures a ghostly stag for Harry Potter? Which P is a spell that conjures a ghostly stag for Harry Potter? Okay, then the next question. Question 13. In which P was Sergei Bubka a world champion? In which P was Sergei Bubka a world champion? Question number 14. 3 more points here. We're on to music for question 14. Which 3 Ps gave Lady Gaga, Madonna, and the Beatles a UK #1 hit? Which 3 Ps gave Lady Gaga, Madonna, and the Beatles a UK #1 hit? 1 point for each. So I'll say that again. 3 Ps that gave Lady Gaga, Madonna, and the Beatles a UK #1 hit. And question 15. Final question. Which 3 Ps won Tom Hanks, Adrian Brody, and Holly Hunter acting Oscars? Which 3 Ps won Tom Hanks, Adrian Brody, and Holly Hunter acting Oscars? 1 point for each. That is the end of the round. So you've got a little bit more thinking time with the countdown conundrum as well now, but do let me know, as always, if there's a question you want me to repeat. Gives you a little bit more thinking time as well, and everyone else in turn. For those of you, just again, padding for time to give you thinking time here, but for those of you who are Patreons, I will still be doing a Patreon quiz night at the end of August. I'm only going to have a few weeks off doing the live shows like this one, but the Patreon quiz will happen, and that will be on, in theory, it looks like it'll be on the 26th of August. Tuesday, 26th of August will be the Patreon quiz night. So it's just the 3 weeks. So next week, and then for the next 2 weeks again, the 12th and the 19th. And then I'll be back doing a Patreon quiz only. That'll be on the 26th of August. And then in September, it should be back to normal. I'm not looking at my calendar specifically, but I believe they're free. So to some extent, we'll be back to normal in September. But if anything changes, I'll of course let you all know. Okay then, Jan's just joined us. Oh, on question 13 I need to repeat for Jodie. Okay, Jan says, good evening everyone, a bit late but had to put the kids to bed. Good luck everyone with the rounds. Yes, well everybody struggled on the first round. It was a cartoons one. But hopefully they'll get a bit better in this one, and then we move on to the next one. We're doing potluck again for our third round. So question 13 was, in which P was Sergei Bubka a world champion? In which P was Sergei Bubka a world champion? Okay, I'm going to go back to the top then, and we'll go through the answers. So let's see how well you did with this one, and then let me know your scores as always. Question 1, which P is an Italian city with a famous, if flawed, tower? It is Pisa. Of course, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Question 2, which 3 cartoon Ps were a Sailor Man, a yellow Pokemon, and the driver of the compact Pussycat? It was Popeye the Sailor Man, Pikachu was the yellow Pokemon, and the driver of the compact Pussycat is Penelope Pitstop. Question 3, the town of Melton Mowbray is famous for which Ps? Melton Mowbray pork pies. Question 4, which P is another name for your kneecap? It is your patella. Question 5, which P is used to regulate the contractions of the cardiac muscle, or your heart? It's a pacemaker. Question 6, in which 3 Ps are Nobel Prizes awarded? It's peace, physics, and physiology. Question 7, which P generated more than 20 million quarters in the USA between 1980 and 1990? It was the Pac-Man arcade games. 20 million quarters. Question 8, which P is the Bishop of Rome? It is the Pope or the Pontiff. I think we can accept Pope or Pontiff. Psyduck is also a yellow Pokemon. Yes, I would give you a point for that, but not an extra point. Not quite the same yellow, but yeah. I'm sure there's lots of other yellow Pokemon, to be honest, nowadays. There's hundreds of them. Seems like every day, whenever I'm checking Pokemon Go, which I've played since year dot for the game, I'm often finding new ones that I've never had or seen before. And I'm like, I don't remember this one. There's hundreds of them. Anyway, yeah, you can have a point for Psyduck, though. That's fine. Question number 9. Which P was Rebecca Rolfe, better known in history? Pocahontas. Question 10. Which P is the term given to somebody who has more than 5 digits on their hand? It is a polydactyl. Yep. This unfortunately sounds a bit like a dinosaur name, but that's what it is. Question 11. Beatrix Potter, Michael Bond, and Astrid Lindgren wrote children's stories about which 3 Ps? Beatrix Potter wrote about Peter Rabbit. Michael Bond wrote about Paddington Bear. And Astrid Lindgren wrote about Pippi Longstocking. Question, where are we now? Question number 12. Which P is a spell that conjures a ghostly stag for Harry Potter? It is the Patronus charm. Question 13, which P was Sergei Bubka a world champion? It's pole vault. Question 14. Which three Ps gave Lady Gaga, Madonna, and the Beatles a UK #1 hit? It's Poker Face, Papa Don't Preach, and Paperback Writer. If you said Penny Lane or Please Please Me, they went to #2. They didn't get to #1. So Paperback Writer for that one. Question 15. Which three Ps won Tom Hanks, Adrian Brody, and Holly Hunter their acting Oscars? For Tom Hanks, it was called Philadelphia. For Adrian Brody, it was The Pianist. And for Holly Hunter, it was The Piano. Right, and now the answer for the countdown conundrum for 2 extra points is falseness. Falseness. When you look at them side by side, they don't actually look that mixed up. For a split second there, I'd worried that I'd not put the right image in the right slot. It's like, hang on a minute. But no, falseness for 2 points. So add up your scores now. Remember, if you got the kids' question right at the start, you could add on those points if you haven't done so already. I think most of you did, but if you have still got them available, feel free to add them on for this round. See how well you did, and then we move on to potluck. Let's have a look at your scores then, everybody. Okay, 14 points for Jan, +2 for the conundrum. Of course, I got Pikachu, but I had to add my 2 cents. Yeah, of course you did. Yeah, I was thinking when I read it out, I was like, "There's way more than just the one," but there is only one, like truly world famous one, you know. So, but yeah, no, it's just fine. I appreciate people pointing other ones out. It's fine. But well done. 14 + 2 for you. 15 for Jody. Donuts got 20. Got the conundrum. Yeah, back on track now. 14 points for Andy. Well done. 16 for us, but no conundrum this time. Oh, okay. Not so golden oldies there. 16 points. And who have we got now? Oh, yes. Tony says improving, but still not good. You have very high standards. Best of luck with the next round. Geraldine's got 17 + 2. Very good. Okay. Let's have a look then how you get on with the next one. A more standard potluck round. Righty ho then. Let's have a look what we've got for you this time. Let me just make sure, because I've got multiple potluck rounds open today for multiple reasons. Yes, let's do this one. Okay, gambling on using my bonus points on the potluck round, says Andy. Okay, all right, let's see if that tactic pays off, shall we? So, same again, you've got your countdown conundrum. Let's do 15 more questions. Question number 1. Whose face was said to launch 1,000 ships? Whose face was said to have launched 1,000 ships? Question number 2. In the UK, what does the acronym CCJ stand for? So according to British law, what does the acronym CCJ stand for? 1 point for each correct word. Worth a guess. Elon Musk, if we talk about spaceships. He's launched 1,000 that blew up. Oh, yes, very good. Question number 3 now. Question 3. Which English town is the birthplace of William Shakespeare? Which English town is the birthplace of William Shakespeare? Question number 4. Which celebrity chef once took us on a seafood odyssey? Which celebrity chef took us on a seafood odyssey? Question number 5. Spell the word irreverence correctly. Spell the word irreverence correctly. These are the kind of words that I always get my vowels mixed up on. Don't know. Some people are just like that, I guess. I'm not sure if it's like an ADHD thing or something, but yeah, some words along those lines. And like separate, I'm always getting vowels mixed up in separate. Always used to. I'm much better now, but yeah, there's some words I can be a bit like that. Regardless of practice. Just like, hang on. But spell the word irreverence correctly and you get yourself a point. Question 6. What would you do with a Brazilian pandeiro? Would you hit it, strum it, or blow it? What would you do with a Brazilian pandeiro? Pandeiro. Would you hit, strum, or blow? We haven't got the Brazilians team with us this evening. I'm pretty sure they'd get that right and probably correct me very quickly on how you should pronounce it too. But that's how it looks, at least. I hope I've done that all right. Question number 7 now. Which novels written by Emily Bronte, Jane Austen, and Leon Uris were also the titles of UK hit singles by Kate Bush, Hot Chocolate, and Bob Marley? Which novels written by Emily Bronte, Jane Austen, and Leon Uris, that's Uris, were also the titles of UK hit singles for Kate Bush, Hot Chocolate, and Bob Marley? Right, question number 8 now. Question number 8. What was left in Pandora's box after it was opened and all the evil was released into the world? What was left in Pandora's box after it was opened and all of the evil was released into the world? Okay, question number 9 now. Ganymede and Titan are moons that orbit which two planets? 1 point for each. Ganymede and Titan are moons that orbit which two planets? Okay, question number 10 then, for 3 more points. Question 10. Whereabouts on the human body could you find the labyrinth, the islets of Langerhans, and the girdle of Venus? Whereabouts on the human body could you find the labyrinth, the islets of Langerhans, and the girdle of Venus? So 3 points there. Question 11 now. Question 11. Panophobia, P-A-N-O, phobia. Panophobia is the fear of what? Question number 12. Question 12. Put these UK events into the correct order with the earliest to happen first. VAT was first introduced, the Concorde's maiden flight, and Rolls-Royce going bankrupt. Put these UK events into the correct order with the earliest first. VAT being introduced, the Concorde's maiden flight, and Rolls-Royce going bankrupt. Earliest first. Okay, nearly there then. Question number 13 now. The Jodrell Bank Observatory is part of which UK university? The Jodrell Bank University, the Jodrell Bank Observatory is part of which university? Name the city for 1 point. That's another clue as to what it could be to narrow it down for you. Okay, question number 14 now. Question 14. Which 3 hit stage musicals featured the characters named Dolores Van Cartier, Old Deuteronomy, and George and Winifred Banks? 1 point for each. Which 3 hit stage musicals feature characters named Dolores Van Cartier for 1 point, Old Deuteronomy for another point, and George and Winifred Banks for a 3rd point? And says it definitely isn't my round. I might break a record with the least amount of points. I'm pretty sure you would tie for the record. There is no breaking it, because somebody is bound to have got 0 points before in all the quizzes I have ever done, ever. So don't worry, you won't be breaking any records, even if you failed miserably. In fact, I know for sure there's people that definitely did not score any points. Especially in the pub quiz, sometimes you get teams rock up and they'll enter the whole quiz, but they might get to question 5, realise they're struggling with the round, and then just not hand it in. So, technically, 0. We don't keep track of these things, though. It's only the winner of each round that really matters. In most of the quizzes I do, anyway. Right, so we're now on to the final question. Which 3 English towns or cities are Upon Tyne, Upon Tweed, and Upon Hull? Which 3 English towns or cities are Upon Tyne, Upon Tweed, and Upon Hull? 1 point for each. You're running out of time to sort out your guess for the Countdown Conundrum. If you haven't worked that one out yet, do have a guess if you can. See if you can work out what that one is for 2 more points. And if you've got any points left, if you haven't used the ones from the kids' question at the start, of course, add them on for this, your final quiz round, before we get into our game shows round. What's the difference between a town or city? That is an interesting question, even in itself. There's a few things. Basically, you have to apply. A town has to apply to be considered a city and have that application accepted. Some people tend to think it's if they've got a cathedral, but there are plenty of cities that don't have cathedrals that are still cities. So yeah, there's different criteria. Sometimes it's also down to size. Then you could also get a particularly big town that doesn't qualify to be a city. But cities do tend to be larger than towns. And there's probably a few things I've missed there. But you have to have that caveat in there for this kind of question, because somebody will go, oh, that's a town, not a city. Which they're right, you know. But yeah. There isn't really, I don't think, at least, there's not really clear cut. It's this, because it's not. I think there might even be some places that have got cathedrals that aren't cities, as well as cities that don't have cathedrals. So it really can't be just down to that. Okay, nobody's asked for any repeats of questions. You've had some thinking time. Let's go through the answers and see how well you did, shall we? So, question number 1. Whose face was said to launch 1,000 ships? That is Helen of Troy. Question 2. What does the acronym CCJ stand for in British law? This is for 3 points, remember, 1 point for each correct word. County Court Judgment. Question 3. Which English town is the birthplace of William Shakespeare? It's Stratford-upon-Avon. Question 4. Which celebrity chef took us on a seafood odyssey? That was Rick Stein. Very famous chef, particularly when it comes to fish and seafood in general. Question 5, spell the word irreverence correctly. It is IRREVERENCE. I will pop it in the chat so you can all see. Missed that. There you go. Irreverence. Question 6, what would you do with a Brazilian pandeiro? Would you hit, strum, or blow it? You would hit it. It's a combination between, or a cross between, a drum and a tambourine. So you would hit it. Question 7, which novels written by Emily Bronte, Jane Austen and Leon Uris were also the titles of the UK hit singles for Kate Bush, Hot Chocolate and Bob Marley? It's Wuthering Heights. Hot Chocolate had a song with Emma, which is of course the Jane Austen novel. And for Leon Uris and Bob Marley, that is Exodus. Question 8. What was left in Pandora's box after it was opened and all the evil was released into the world? Hope was all that was left. Question number 9 now. Ganymede and Titan are moons that orbit which 2 planets for 2 points? That is Jupiter and Saturn. Question 10, whereabouts on the human body could you find the labyrinth, the islets of Langerhans, and the girdle of Venus? The labyrinth is in the ear, the islets are in the pancreas, and the girdle of Venus is in your hand. Question 11 now. Question 11. Panophobia is the fear of what? It's probably the worst of all the fears because it's the fear of literally everything. I can't imagine that's a very fun life to lead. Scared of everything. Okay. Question 12. Put these UK events into the correct order with the earliest first. So the correct order is, again for 3 points, Concorde's flight was first. The first flight of the Concorde was in 1969. Rolls-Royce went bankrupt in 71 and VAT was introduced in 73. Question 13. The Jodrell Bank Observatory is part of the University of Manchester. Question 14. Which 3 hit stage musicals featured the characters named Dolores Van Cartier, that is Sister Act, Old Deuteronomy is Cats, and George and Winfred Banks are the parents in Mary Poppins. Question 15. Which 3 English towns or cities are upon Tyne, upon Tweed, and upon Hull? It's Newcastle upon Tyne, Berwick upon Tweed, and Kingston upon Hull. Right, the answer for the countdown conundrum then is shuddered. And how many of you shuddered at your scores tonight, I wonder? Sorry, it's terrible, I know. We're going to be doing, what's it called? Family Fortunes. So our survey says question will be up first in just a moment. And then we're going to do 3 catchphrases. I have another resource now for catchphrases, which is, well, similar to what I always have done. It's exactly the same. You won't notice any different. I've just found a load more because I was running out from the way I was getting them before. I was running dangerously low, and I was like, I can't not do this anymore. That's not on. So I have found... Jan says 5 points. Not my worst round ever. Excellent. Yeah, so I found another place where I can get these catchphrases from now. So we're good. We're good for a bit longer, thankfully. 14 points for Jodie. Very well done. We have the Donuts getting 20 points and got the conundrum. Andy said 16 plus 2 for the conundrum and plus 2 for the kids bonus question point as he saved there. So 20 for him. Very good. 18 points for Catherine and Tony. The not so golden oldies there. No conundrum though this time. Couple of tricky ones tonight for sure. Anybody else want to put their scores in? Do let me know. We're going to move on to the next round. But you can always leave your comments. Geraldine, there we go. Thank you. 18 plus 2, so 20 for Geraldine as well. Yeah, see, everybody's scores gradually, I think, just got a bit better. For the people that were here from the start, at least. Well done. Okay, let's go over now to our survey says, shall we? So, your question is on screen already. You're now all working as one team. So, collectively, now you should be guessing in the comments what do you think are the top 8 answers from this survey of 100 people. What do you think they said when asked to name a British band you'd expect to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Doesn't necessarily mean they are, but that you'd expect to be. All right, because it's an opinion somebody's given, remember, not an absolute fact. Although I'm pretty sure they all are, to be honest. Right. Oh, Millie says, sorry, I'm on a bus at the most, so we'll be dipping in and out. Sorry for how late I am. Oh, it's all right. No problem. Glad you could listen in, if only for a little bit. Yes, especially since it's the last one of the summer. I'll be back in September. Keep your guesses coming in. I'll address them in a moment. I've also been saying this evening that we will still be doing a Patreon quiz at the end of August. It's just the 3 Facebook lives I'm going to be missing as part of this break. We'll do something for patrons, because again, tonight should have been a Patreon quiz, being the last of the month. But because of the women's football, had to watch that. We swapped, if you remember. So anyway, let's get to the guesses then. First up, we have Queen being guessed. Well, not first up. Is it first up? Where was it? Well, Queen spelt with a W, but I know what you meant. Let's have a look at that one first. That's number 7 on the list. Well done to Tony. Sue says Oasis. Is Oasis on the list? Let's have a look. Is it one of the top 8? It's not there. I'm sure they are in there, but it's not in the top 8. Right. Iron Maiden has been guessed there. Iron Maiden also not there. Do you know, I think, if I remember rightly, Iron Maiden, I don't think are actually in the Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's a travesty. I remember. I don't know if they've been added since, but the last time I checked, they're not there. The Who have been guessed. Who? The Who. They're number 2 in this list. So the second most popular answer. Jodie says Black Sabbath. Rest in peace, Ozzy. Or in power, however you want to say it. Black Sabbath are 5th. What else have we got here? Yes, The Who again guessed. Status Quo. A Status Quo there? No. Not in the top 10 at least. Rolling Stones, I mean, they've got to be in there, but strangely, they're not in this list. They're not in the top 8. What else? Led Zeppelin, iconic. Yes, Led Zeppelin are there, but they are not number 1. But yes, Led Zeppelin there. Well done to Jan there for guessing that one. So Rolling Stones, no. Metallica, yeah, I'm sure they're there, but Metallica are not British, so probably not going to have made it into this list. Again, wrong answers entirely possible, but Metallica not British, so unlikely they would have made it to the top 8. Right, Rolling Stones, we've done. The Beatles, let's have a look. Where are the Beatles in the list? Because surely they must be there. Top answer. Beatles are the top answer. Motorhead, another great guess, but not there. I would probably argue that number 8 would be the trickiest one to guess, although I'm sure many of you watching know their songs. And you will have heard of all of them, I'm sure. Pink Floyd, Jan says. Is Pink Floyd there? You're on a roll. On a roll. That one's number 6. Very good. So we've got 4 and 8 remaining. Yes, Motorhead not there, I'm afraid. Although, again, another good guess. What other great bands could you think of? One of them famously has a one-armed drummer. A one-armed drummer for one of them. That's going to be a big clue. Is the Sex Pistols on the list? No. Oh, Deep Purple's a good guess too, but no, not right. Let me see if I can give you some clues. For number 8 as well. Def Leppard's been guessed. That's the one. That's the one for number 4. Yes, you got it. Def Leppard famously had a One-arm drummer. Yes, we've got Jodie said it now as well, and Geraldine. Very good. Emerson, Lake and Palmer's an interesting guess. No, not there. Let me see what. Okay, let's have a look. This band for number 8 were active from 1964. They were formed in 63, but really active from 64. By brothers Ray and Dave Davies and Pete Quaife. Regarded as one of the most influential rock bands of the 60s. And beyond, really, but certainly from the 60s. Not Joy Division. No. And have a look at this. Number 8. Is it the Kinks? Geraldine and Catherine? Yes, there we go. Brilliant. Yes, the Kinks. All day and all of the night. Waterloo, Sunset, Sunny Afternoon. You Really Got Me, Lola. They had some big songs. Big songs. You Really Got Me in particular. Great song. I really like that one. There you go. That's the top 8. So the Beatles were number 1, most popular answer. Then The Who, Led Zeppelin, Def Leppard, Black Sabbath, Pink Floyd, Queen, and then the Kinks. Very good work, everybody. We now go to our catchphrase round. Okay, let me just complete the board again. That one. There we go. Wrong button. Okay, so we've got our wheel. I'll spin the wheel, and behind this board now is our first catchphrase of the evening. As the board is revealed, you can guess as soon as you like for what the catchphrase is. You got to get questions right, though, in order to reveal the board. So, again, have a guess in the comments. Name the only American president to have resigned from office. We spoke about him earlier on. Middle name Milhouse. Guess in the comments, please, and I'm going to spin the wheel. And we are going to be removing square number 5. But guess in the comments, the American president is the only one to have resigned from office. Yes, there we go. Well done. Thank you. It is Richard Nixon. Well done, Catherine. Let's remove that one. And thank you, Sue, as well. You got it. Next question. Which team won the Women's Champions League in 2025? Which team won the Women's Champions League in 2025? Spinning the wheel again, and let's see which one's going to be removed next. Feel free to have a guess, though, if you can work out what that catchphrase is. Number 6 will be removed next. It's not Barcelona. I think Barcelona were in the final with the team that lost, with the team that won. I think they were the losing team. Pony says it's Arsenal. Yeah, unfortunately, it was Arsenal. There we go. Let's remove number 6. You should be able to get this already. It's entirely possible. You can see just about everything you need to. Your next question. Which city is the capital city of Germany? Which city is the capital city of Germany? And we will remove number 3 next. Oh, looking up the number 1's good, but it's not right. It's a good guess, but no. Not right. Yes. What's the capital of Germany, please? Have a guess in the comments. Of course, Berlin. Thank you, Sue. Well done, Jan. There's number 3 gone. Okay, your next question. Let's go to this one. Which is the longest river in the UK? Which is the longest river in the UK? Spin the wheel. And we will be removing next. Number 2. Yes, well done, Tony. Thank you for that. It is the River Severn. 7. And we remove number 2. Not the Thames. I don't know what what the running order is, like how long the Severn is compared to the Thames. Maybe that's another question we'll do one day. Put the rivers in order with the longest first or something. Because the Thames would be a very long river as well, but the Severn is the longest. Okay, which is the world's largest country by total area is your next question. And then keep thinking about what this catchphrase could be. Next up, you will be seeing what's behind square 7. From the River Severn to number 7. Yes, it is Russia. Thank you. Well done, Sue, on that one. Yeah, not China. It is Russia. So number 7's been removed now. Not Denmark, no. Right, let's remove that from the wheel as well. And your next question is, which pop star performed her Eras tour recently? Which pop star performed her Eras tour? Let's spin the wheel. And number 9 will be going next. Number 9. But your question, which pop star performed the Eras tour? It is Taylor Swift. Yes, well done. Let's remove number 9 now. Well done, Sue. Well done, Catherine. And Jodie, yes, excellent work. Taylor Swift, the correct answer there. Your next question, who was the very first actor to play the Doctor in Doctor Who? Who was the very first actor to play the Doctor in Doctor Who? Number 4. Okay, number 4. That will be the next one to go. As soon as we can see if anybody can work this one out. The first actor to play the Doctor in Doctor Who. Very good. Catherine's got it. William Hartnell. Well done, Catherine and Tony. Let's remove number 4 then. And Geraldine's got it too. I think Peter Davison was 1, 2, 3, 4. William Hartnell, Patrick Troughton, John Pertwee. No, Tom Baker. Tom Baker. He was 5 or 6, maybe. He was 5 or 6. I get them mixed up as well. Yeah. Right. So let's remove number 4. We've only got 2 more left. Does nobody know what this is? What are they doing? What are they showing? What are they collectively showing? All right, your next question. What first name was chosen by the new Pope? That's your next question. What first name was chosen by the new Pope? And we will remove number 8 next. Oh, hold on, hold the phone. Sue has guessed strengthening numbers. That is the correct answer. You got it. That's your catchphrase. Yes, Jodie and Geraldine. Yes, well done. They've all put it now. Strengthening numbers. It is Leo for the answer to the Pope question. Thank you, Catherine. Well done. We'll remove a number for that one on the next page. If it would be 316, I would say the catchphrase is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah. That would be quite amusing as well. Yeah, that's very good. Right, on to the next wheel, and I will close the board up again. And now we will bring in the next catchphrase. Now, I did say as well, we're going to spin this wheel and we're going to remove the first square because Leo is the correct answer for the new Pope. We will honour the fact that question was guessed correctly. And here we go with that first reveal for round 2. I don't think this one's going to be very helpful. No. Right, the next question for you then. Which film earned Colin Firth his Oscar? Which film earned Colin Firth his Oscar? Have a guess in the comments which film won Colin Firth his Oscar. The next square we're going to be removing, I'll tell you now, is Jodie's guessed the King's Speech there. That is the correct answer. Well done. And we're going to remove the centre square. Look at that, number 5. Yes, Catherine's got it as well there. King's Speech, that's the one. And yes, Tony's messaged in as well. There might be a delay in between your guesses coming in, but keep them coming. Every comment helps, and I'll give you shout outs as we go, as always. Okay, now your next question is, which turtle is the leader of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Back on cartoons, everybody's favourite subject apparently at the start. We're going to be removing number 7, if you can work that one out. You know they're all named after famous artists or sculptors, so I'm sure you can work it out. Have a guess at that one. Sue's had a guess at both. She says Leonardo, and she also says takes the shirt off his back, and Jodie says sells a shirt off his back. And also we've got to 100 messages in our chat today. We've got a reminder about that as well, so thank you for that, everybody. Another nice little milestone to get on the live shows. Now I can tell you now both of those are correct, so what we will do is, let me just reveal the board. It is shirt off his back, basically. Anything along those lines, you would have got the win. And let's have a good look at what's going on here. He's trying to buy something. He hasn't got enough money, so he literally takes the shirt off his back. There you go. Excellent. Right, well, we can close that wheel down, go on to another one. And for the final time this evening, and for the last time of the summer, we've got one more round. Let's see if you can work this one out, shall we? So, the next question is, which sign of the zodiac is represented by the twins? Oh, actually, having said that, I should remove one for Leonardo as well. That's your next question. You can still guess that one. While you're thinking of that, I'll remove the square for Leonardo being correct as the leader of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or Hero Turtles as they were when I was growing up, at least in the UK. Ninja was far too scary a word in the late 80s, early 90s. So there we go, remove 5 for you. Because of course it's the middle square again. And if you get this one right, Gemini, which you have, oh, I should say well done to Jan as well, I've just seen you said Leonardo. Number 2 is going to be removed now. Gemini is the correct answer. I think you can get this already. This might be all over very quick. Your next question, though, let's say, which character in Lord of the Rings did Strider turn out to be? You can have a guess at the catchphrase if you want to, but your next question, to reveal a square from the board, which character in the Lord of the Rings did Strider turn out to be? Oh, your guesses are so close, but I'm going to be picky on this one. It's not look death in the eyes. It's not facing death in the face. I mean, you're there or thereabouts. You're skirting around it. Staring death in the face. Let's, yeah, I'm just going to reveal the board. You've got it. Here we go. You're all close enough. I don't know if you'd get it on the show for anything other than what ultimately Sue then said, staring death in the face. Because there's that focus on the eyes at the start, see? So, yeah, the phrase is staring death in the face, specifically. Well done, you got it. Aragorn, son of Arathorn, descendant of Isildur, heir to the Gondor throne. I mean, that's his full title, sure. Yeah, that's everything. But he was known as Strider. That was like his secret, that was like his name where he was undercover, if you like. When the Fellowship first meets him, or when the Hobbits still meet him, before they become the Fellowship of the Ring. Yeah, he's known to them as Strider, because he doesn't want to be king. So he's not going by those names. So the answer was Strider. Right. What we can do now is go on to our final page. So, okay, that brings us to the end of tonight's quiz, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure to bring another one to you. As I said, so the next 3 weeks, no quizzes. You might see me post things still. I'll still be sharing. I'll still be hosting pub quizzes when I'm around. I do have some kind of holiday in between this time off. But yeah, I'll always be commenting, sharing, liking, posting some things over the next few weeks. And I will be back at the end of August doing the Patreon quiz from the 30th of July. So that's from tomorrow onwards. There is a 20% off everything sale in the merch store for about 4 or 5 days. So if you want to grab anything to help support what we do here on Big Quiz Night In, and maybe you could wear it like Millie and Mike do to the Patreon meetups, I'm going to be getting some stuff as well. Yes, I do have to buy stuff from my own merch store as well. So, yes, please do consider doing that to support me. But if not, whatever the case, I just appreciate you guys being here. And I really hope you can join me back here again in September with the return of the show. It won't be changing. I don't think. I'm not planning any major changes like I did over last summer or anything like that. It's literally just going to take some downtime, some family time over the summer holidays and, all that good stuff. So that's it. All right, I'll read some of your comments and then we'll say goodnight. So what we've got here, great quiz. Thanks, Chris. Have a lovely restful summer. Yes, yeah, you too. Thank you for that. Yes, good knowledge to Jan as well with his Aragorn knowledge. Very good. Thank you, Chris, says Andy, and everyone for your company. Wishing you all a great summer break. Jan says, great quiz as always, Chris. Thank you for all your efforts you are doing and for the fun you bring us. God bless and great August for everyone. See you in a month. Yes, thank you, mate. You too. Have a lovely break. Enjoy the holidays. Nice weather. Not in the office. Yes, there. I'm going to try not to ever go back there, but I might have to occasionally make an appearance. I much prefer staying here and then being on holiday. Catherine says, thanks so much, Chris. Have a lovely summer, everyone. See you all in September. Have fun summer. Yeah, maybe you'll start to hear about Ruben's first term in secondary school as well. My goodness me, where does the time go? Okay. Right, it's been an absolute pleasure, guys. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. You all have a great summer. And do keep in touch. Keep messaging and commenting on the things I share. And I'll be back soon before you know it. Cheers, everybody. See you all same time next time for more of the same fun. Good night.